Hello, my gorgeous friends. Welcome back. My name is Sarah, if we haven't connected before, and this video is all about how to calm anxiety. And there is so much anxiety out there right now. So many people have this battle. I certainly have been through my own, which is why I have information to share on this topic. And my channel is all about helping as many people as I can to have less anxiety, to grow greater confidence, and to step into the truest, most authentic version of themselves and share their gifts and live their best life. So the first tip, which you may have heard before, but maybe I'll say it in a slightly different way, so stay tuned, is to practice mindfulness, learn mindfulness. And what is mindfulness? It's being present in the present moment. And when we're living from minute to minute, like there's only right now, the second, and then every minute that goes by, it's gone, it's in the past. So if we're only focusing on the here and now and not worrying about the past, going over old events, going over traumas, going over what someone said 10 minutes ago that really annoyed you, still going on and retelling the same stories about who did what to you and how this was so awful, and revisiting our stories constantly. Or we're not projecting into the future where we're worrying about how we're going to pay the bill tomorrow, or are we going to end up alone for the rest of our lives, or how are we going to make things work this way or that way? Guess what? We cut out all the anxiety, because when we're living in the present moment, there is no anxiety, none whatsoever. And I know this is a hard one, and it takes a lot of practice. I still grapple with it constantly, really, but the more mindful I am and aware about when I'm going down, that my brain is just taking me down that journey, then I catch myself and I bring myself back to the present moment. The future will always take care of itself if you're living in the present moment. If you're turning up as the best version of yourself in the here and now, if you're putting aligned action into what it is that you want the future to be, there's nothing wrong with going into meditation or to set the intention of where you want to be, that future you want to create. That's completely different than projecting fear or worry into the future. So hopefully that's making some sense. So my first tip is be mindful about your thoughts. Catch yourself. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Journaling, writing down, even for a couple of days. I think I've mentioned this in my other videos, but being really aware of what your thoughts are, catching them and changing them, is how you rewire your brain, along with meditation. Focusing on nature is a great way to be mindful. I used to go on long walks, run. I was an exercise junkie, and having music going is a great way to keep the mind focused on something and not on those thoughts that we get carried away with. But if you haven't got music, when you catch yourself in that pattern of thinking, I bring my attention to nature, and it grounds me straight away, as does being in nature, which, once again, I say these things a lot, and I'm probably repetitive in my videos, but it's because sometimes we have to hear things a lot to actually get them and to get driven to go out and try them. And they are tried and true. When you're connecting with Mother Gaia's energy, when you've got your feet on the ground, when you're in the bush, when you're in the forest, when you're looking at a beautiful view, when you're just noticing a flower, when you're on a walk, and you might be in the middle of suburbia, but there's usually plants around you, bringing your focus away from those thoughts and bringing it back to nature and just having gratitude for that breaks that cycle of thought. And the more you do it, the more it becomes normality. And when I first started practicing this, it was really hard, and I'd go right down that little path of worrying and wondering and going over old circumstances and dissecting conversations and Actually, a counsellor gave me a great tip. I don't know if I've shared this before in a video or not, but like when you're going down those trains of thought, realizing that it's like a dead end road or going to a roundabout, and you're just stuck on the roundabout, or you're just heading down to a dead end path that doesn't lead anywhere. So, when you catch yourself, you just think, oh, I'm down that dead end road again, or I'm on that roundabout, and just bringing yourself back into nature. And then the more you do it, the less your brain actually goes down that path again. You just break the cycles of thoughts, which I think they've done science on it. And, we actually are rewiring. We're in a loop of thinking, which often is just going round and round like that. We're not actually bringing new thoughts in, and we're stuck in those patterns of thoughts. So focusing on nature, being in nature, grounding yourself in nature is crucial. We just don't a lot of us are not giving ourselves time. If anything, this is what part of the change of the new earth, of what's happening in the world, is teaching us to stop, slow down, find those moments of silence, do a walking meditation where you're just repeating a mantra, which is, I'm good enough, I'm worthy of love. The Ho'oponopono prayer, even repeating that. There's tons of mantras out there, self-affirmations. And if you need that for your brain to be focusing on something, to be listening to meditative music, or be careful of the music that you're listening to. There's a lot of programming that goes on in the music world. So you want to be finding things that are aligned, that will bring you into that highest vibration. There's a lot of subliminal, subconscious programming that can go on in a lot of the music that is out there. So be mindful of that too. You find things that lift your spirit, lift your heart. Other things are to calm anxiety, is to, look up those tapping practices, to breaking those, that energetic field. If we're just interrupting it, tapping, EFT is powerful. I think it's this one. Nick Ortner has tons of information on his YouTube channel, on his website. Tap into it, and then when you're feeling anxious, find a tapping technique that works. And I tell you what, it really breaks, breaks up the energy, and you feel the adrenaline, the cortisol levels just drop out of your body. It's quite profound. The more stressed you are, the quicker you'll feel the effects of it. Rest, sleep, once again, really important for lessening anxiety. Shaking your body. When a gazelle is freaked out or scared and it runs away from a lion, it just shakes its body off, and then it carries on. It'll go back to eating its food. But we don't. We tend to just get caught up in the trauma and the anxiety of it, and go, like I say, go over and over it, and hold on to all that anxiety in our body. Our bodies retain and remember everything, every experience. So if we can shake it off, dance it off, put on some music that really aligns, you might want to feel something really, and really dance out hard, some Rage Against the Machine, or but just even jumping up and down, being on a rebounder, just shaking your hands out. Drumming is really powerful as well for lessening anxiety, getting into a rhythm. So shifting your body, once again, shifting your body. So those are my tips today for calming anxiety. Check out my other videos, and I've got lots of information on my channel. I really want to help as many people as I can in the world. So if you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate your support. And yeah, much love. Oh, one last tip I've just realized is breathe into your belly. Really take those deep breaths, those deep inhalations, and let go. Often we're holding on. It was pointed out to me, I was breathing really, a lot of us are walking around just breathing into our chest. Breathe right down into the belly and then let it go. Once again, feel the release just from taking one breath. Let's do it together. In through the nose if you can, and drawing that prana, that energy up, 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 up to the crown of the head and letting it go. Notice the shift, the change, just from one breath. Do, 10 cycles of that breathing. If you're worked up, if you're fearful, if you're scared, if you're anxious, if you're angry, and start noticing your body. We're so disconnected from our bodies. So notice the changes in your body when you apply these things to your life. And be kind to yourself. You won't always remember, but there's lots of tips there. So if you can just start remembering some of them and applying them to your life, you'll really notice the change. And step up and step in to the greatest version of yourself. And you can't do that if you're anxious all the time. So much love, and talk to you soon.